Hi guys, welcome to Cognitive Hub Talent Tutorials. So in this video, I am going to explain about how to implement auto increment data like auto increment column in database through Talent Studio. So before going to implement it in Talent Studio, I want to illustrate you in the database first. So how to create a database table with column as a auto increment value, and I will also illustrate about how to insert such type of values into the DB. So for that I am going to this. So this is the Postgres is the DB that I have in my local system. So this database, so what I am doing is, first of all I am creating a DB. So normally what is the data type that we have for the auto increment in the MySQL is the data type is auto underscore increment, and sometimes it is auto increment. But if it comes under the Postgres database, so PostgresSQL database, so the database like the data type for the auto increment is nothing but serial. So as I mentioned here already, so it is nothing but a serial. So what I am doing, create table. So let I am giving it as that table name as auto increment underscore illustration. I am giving the table name, and the columns what I am giving is ID, which is nothing but a serial column. That means, as I already mentioned, serial is nothing but a auto increment value in the Postgres. So it is nothing but a PostgresSQL. So if you consider this, it is a PostgresSQL database, and the database name is Postgres. And what I am giving is, so SID as a student ID, which is nothing but a integer, and then another one is name, which is a varchar, and last one is pin code, which is we can mention it as varchar. Let us mention. So because we are not gonna change that pin code, so let me make it as a varchar. So I am running it now. So if you now the table was created successfully. If you click select star from auto increment underscore illustration, we didn't have any data, so it is not retrieving anything. So now first of all I want to insert a couple of things here. So insert into insert into table, or we can make, this is the syntax, auto increment values, or we can directly first mention it as insert into direct values like 1, and SID as some 1 2 3, and we name as Subbu, and pin code as some random number 56767 and 8. So this is the value that I want to insert. So it is showing some error, as it is a serial key, syntax error at serial. This syntax is values. So insert into table name values. So if you consider this, select star from automatic, so that record was inserted. But here what we did was, we are instead of, even though we are included it as serial, we have identified we have mentioned the ID value here. But if you don't want to include that ID value, but you want to insert the value, you want to insert the other values, but the ID value should come as automatic, because that is the main scenario for the serial data type. So for that, in that case, what you need to do is, so insert into auto increment values, so something like 45435, and some value as like what we can say Harish, and some value as 13333. So some data dummy value, and I'm executing this, so it will throw an error. So why? Because it is throwing an error is, it is not matching the exact column numbers that it is having, because we have total 4 columns in the particular table, but we have only 3 in the 3 we have mentioned only 3. So that is why it is saying as invalid input syntax. But in order to in order to change that, in order to insert it properly, what we need to do is, we have one more syntax for the insert in the database. That is nothing but, we need to post the values for that. So SID comma name comma and then pin code. So if you mention these things here, it will insert in that particular corresponding values, and we haven't mentioned here ID value here, ID column here. and also we haven't mentioned id value here. But if you consider the database now, it will automatically insert the column number 2 here. So if you run this select star from auto increment, oh sorry, I think we need to mention it as a primary key. Oh, let me delete it. Let me drop the table once, or truncate. And for now, just for now, I'm truncating this. I'm running this again, and I am declaring id serial as a primary key. Primary key. Oh, okay. I need to. Okay, I am dropping this. I can use the alter command, but I am not using that. Just for now, I want to change the complete thing here, and I want to execute this. And now if you run this select star from auto increment illustration, we are getting this data, and now we can mention it as insert. So if you do this, what is the duplicate key violates unique constraint? Maybe it will start from 1, I think. But what if you want from 2? Okay, let us truncate this. Oh shit. Truncate the table once, and again run. I'm just removing this and I'm executing the below one. And suppose if I change this data and I was trying to insert this one now, I think it will get 2 now. So if I mention select star from, yeah, I think previously we are not deleted this, that's why it is coming as 1. So this is how it will work. So if it is a ID value, you are not supposed to give any value, because by default the serial value will start it from 1. Even though some records will get deleted, it will it won't consider the deleted column number again. So wherever the current sequence number is there, it will just keep on executing the next one. So this is how in the database it will get it will insert. But what it needs to do is in the here, I think I have already created the metadata here. I think I have already created the metadata here. Now what I am doing here is I want to retrieve the table here. So for that retrieving, I am right clicking on the Postgres database. I am retrieving the schema, and there I am clicking the next. And if you don't know how to retrieve the schema and all, please go to my previous lectures, and I have clearly explained it about it. And I am clicking the auto increment illustration, clicking the next. So the table was retrieved now. This is the actual schema. I am clicking OK. Now what I am doing is, so before going to that, I have created one file here. So the file is nothing but with the SID name pin code. So wherever this particular SID will matches with the database value, it will get updated. If it is not if it not matches, then that particular record will get inserted, and then I am not gonna insert with the ID value. It is automatically inserting. So I am just including ID value as 1, which is in the database and which is not in the database. So for 1 it will update, for 1 it will insert. So for that I am using t file input delimited, and here the delimiter is just a comma here, and schema I am giving SID as a integer, and then name, and then pin. Okay. And also file name also I am going to place that. Okay, not this folder. So this is the folder auto_increment.txt, and here the field separator is comma. So the configuration for this was done and header is 1. So this is fine. So for T file input delimited we are good. Now what I am doing is I am creating T map here, and also I am connecting T file input delimited and T map with the connection as main row. So this is done. Now what I am doing is, in order to retrieve the data, so I am retrieving this auto increment database here, and I am clicking TDB input first, and similarly I am taking it once again and I am making it as TDB output, and one TDB input is for doing a joining. So I am right clicking and connecting the main row to the T map, so we will able to do a join now. But now for the insert, like I am connecting this with insert underscore update. So for this I am using, like it is automatically using the connections and all, so no need to configure the any database here. So as I mentioned already, if you do have, like if you don't have a clear idea on how to retrieve this schema and how to use a metadata connection, how to create a DB connection, that all those videos I have already explained in my previous lectures. Please go through those. And here what I am doing is I am doing a join with the SID in the table. And what is the join type here? Just the join type is nothing but inner join, and here I am just clicking the unique match. Now what I am doing is, here we have ID, so I am just excluding that, because ID will automatically get inserted, sorry. And now if there is a matching, or if there is not matching, so okay, not telling that, I am copying that, and name also I am copying that, and pin code also. So if there is a matching record, then whatever the data that we have from the input file, those will get updated. If there is not if there is no matching, then it will need to insert here. So that's what I am doing here. I am clicking OK. Yes. And if you go to the auto increment here I am clicking insert or update, and going to the advanced settings. Okay, just give me one time. I am clicking the sync columns and going to the advanced settings here, and you can click field options and SID as a key, and remaining all are updatable and insertable. So that's it. I am checking OK, and I am running now. So if you check this, so previously in the database we have only these two, I think. Previously we have only these two data, but now in the file we have a matching record with 1 2 3, and wherever in the DB 1 2 3 is there, like SID as 1 2 3, here we have Subbu and this code. Now the expected data is Rakesh and some other pin code, and the new record will need to be inserted. Oh, it shows some error. Okay, it is getting some Postgres illustration. It is by default it is getting the DB name, so I'm just removing that. Select star from AutoInc underscore illustration. So I'm writing the normal query. I'm running it again. So if you look on this, the output, yeah, so only one row gets updated. Okay, so if I check the data, so here we have for 1 2 3 Subbu is there, but now, oh sorry, I need to change this. Here unfortunately I get used to the DB changes, that's why whenever it is a string I am just changing it as double quotes. So anyway, that's not an issue. I think you get the point what exactly needs to be done. But now I am already illustrated about the insert update now, but now I want to illustrate about the insert. So for the insert, what we need to do is, here we have done the inner join. So previously it went to the update only because we have find a matched record, and it couldn't able to find the, like it is not taking care of all the rest of the things. So for now what I am doing, I am just clicking here true. That means where if there is a matching, we are not going to do anything, but if there is not a match, if there is no matching, then we are doing something here, we are inserting. So for that I'm clicking OK, and if you run it again, so if you observe the DB, now I'm running this. So if you observe this, now for 454 is not there. Now array and 543432 gets inserted. So this is how it will happen. And if you observe the ID value, we haven't included that in the T map, but the ID value is automatically coming over here. So you don't need to deal with any don't need to do anything with the like ID value in the, like if the ID is a serial or auto increment, then you don't need to do anything in the tmap or whatever it may be in the Talend Studio. It will automatically gets inserted whenever you need to take care of all the rest of the columns in Talend Studio. Similarly, in the whenever you are writing some query, you need to write you need to include these values. You need to use this another type of SQL query to insert data into the table. So that is all about this video, guys. I hope you get some idea about how to deal with the auto increment data and how to deal with the serial data type in the Postgres Postgres database. So that is all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching.